What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and learn about the Battle of Britain. So, to be honest, I really don't know anything about this. And I really don't even remember this being mentioned in history class at all. I think, like a lot of things that happened outside of the United States, this is just stuff that we were never taught about in school. So today, I thought it'd be really interesting to take a look at this video by BFBS Creative and learn about what happened at this Battle of Britain. So let's take a look.
The Battle of Britain saw the German Air Force bringing the fight to the skies above Britain. If they had won, Germany could have invaded the UK.
What? What? Are you kidding me? Why were we never taught about this? This seems incredibly important. This is Germany literally fighting a battle like at the UK, like on the homeland of Britain, like taking the fight there. I guess that's so like crazy for me as an American. That's so, it's hard to relate to for us because here in the United States, we haven't really waged war here, like in the United States. We've always basically gone somewhere else to do that. There's been instances like Pearl Harbor and like 9/11 attacks, stuff, of course, but never anything like this. Like, the people of Britain have experienced stuff like this, war like this, and battles at your home in a way that, like, Americans cannot possibly understand. Like, this is crazy.
Let's do this. The Battle of Britain in 60 seconds.
Okay.
By 1940, Hitler had conquered most of Europe, so turned his attention to Britain. To successfully invade, Hitler knew that his Luftwaffe had to destroy the Royal Air Force and Royal Navy. On the 10th of July, the Luftwaffe started their attack by targeting shipping convoys, military defences, airfields, and towns on the southern coast.
Oh my God. How is there a whole freaking battle with ships and airplanes and Hitler and that I honestly never even knew about? This is very much overdue, I think, like for me to learn about. So it's good.
The RAF response meant large numbers of German bombers were shot down before they could cause too much damage.
Wow.
The RAF achieved this with an established network of radar and communications telling them when and where German planes were coming to attack.
RAF? I guess that's like some kind of British Air Force by the sound of it. I'm not exactly sure, but it sounds like the British military did an amazing job of like retaliating or defending themselves against the German attack here.
Not only did Britain have eyes on the sky, but the RAF Spitfire and Hurricane aircraft outmatched the Messerschmitt 109. On the 13th of August, the Luftwaffe began...
Oh, okay. There's a lot of information here. I guess, this video that we're watching is like the Battle of Britain explained in like 1 minute, so it's going to be a lot of information really quickly, but sounds like the technology, the British technology and the planes were just superior to the Germans, which is good.
Luftwaffe began Operation Eagle Attack, aimed at destroying the RAF and dominating British skies. German fighters had limited range and could only escort bombers flying over Britain for part of their missions,
Wow.
leaving bomber pilots unprotected. On the 24th of August to the 6th of September, the Luftwaffe increased the intensity, with more than 1,000 aircraft attacking each day.
What? This is crazy. This is... Wow, this is like a huge battle. I mean, at the beginning of the video, she mentioned how this would have decided the fate of the UK and probably the overall fate of World War II, right? Like if the UK, if Britain had been conquered or something during this attack, that would have changed the fate of the entire war. It would have changed the fate of us here in the United States. So I think I'm just trying to say this is such an important battle. This is such an important piece of history that I think a lot of Americans aren't even aware of.
But the British just managed to maintain the advantage, causing a frustrated Hitler to switch tactics.
Yes!
The Blitz of London began and the Battle of Britain ended. Although the Germans had more
my
planes
God.
and pilots, the British had the advantage of fighting over their own territory and seeing their enemies coming thanks to the radar.
I've heard of the Blitz. That was like a major bombing campaign that took place in the UK, if I remember correctly. So the Battle of Britain was like the prelude. It happened right before the Blitz? Okay. That's okay. I'm starting to get a grasp of how it all went down.
Around 3,000 RAF pilots from 15 different nations were responsible for saving Britain from invasion by the Nazi forces. On the
Oh, RAF. So an RAF pilot is not necessarily a British pilot. It's from a lot of different nations. It's just like, okay, interesting. Well, that's cool. Sounds like a lot of different nations and countries came together to like work with Britain and like help fight off this crazy aerial attack by the sound of it.
19th of August, 1940, Winston Churchill praised the RAF pilots with his famous speech, "Never in the field of human conflict was so much owed by so many to so few." Interesting fact.
Wow.
When German planes
Okay. Maybe I need to learn more about the RAF, but it sounds like a coalition of like a lot of countries and air forces like put together that came to help in the Battle of Britain. Really cool.
were shot down, Hitler lost his aircrew and aircraft. When a British plane was shot down, if the crew survived, they could rejoin the squadrons the same day, ready for the next incoming German attacks.
Hold on. That weird pause in the video kind of threw me off, but that's amazing. It's that so when a German plane was shot down, like whether they parachuted or what, like they were out of commission or they died, obviously. But there were a lot of like RAF and British pilots that were shot out of the sky, survived, and joined the battle again? Like, that day? That, like, man, it's nice that in the modern day, you know, for a lot of us, we have no experience of war like this. World wars, you know, it's been a relatively long period of peace for the world. It's just hard to even relate to how freaking badass these soldiers were who fought and defended us in these battles. It's pretty inspiring. It's pretty amazing.
Thanks for watching the 60-second episode about the Battle of Britain.
Oh, okay. I have one more video here I wanted to check out. This is by the Westminster Collection. 5 things that you didn't know about the Battle of Britain. So just some more facts to give me some more context and understanding of this really incredible battle. 5 things I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know anything until like a few minutes ago. So I would imagine I do not know these things. Yes.
As you know, there have sadly been many a battle on land and at sea, but the Battle of Britain was the first battle in history waged almost exclusively in the air.
Oh,
But
interesting. I don't know what it is today with these random black screens, but anyway, it seems to be working. But the first battle exclusively waged in the air. Interesting. So this battle, as horrific as it is, was also like a technological sort of achievement in a weird way of saying. Like it was a mark of the time period where how war was fought was changing. This is like the first one where it was just like all airplanes and fighter planes fighting against each other, and that was it.
Did you know that the battle received its name from a speech Winston Churchill delivered to the British House of Commons, in which he stated, "The Battle of France is over, I expect the Battle of Britain is about to begin."
Oh my god, pretty terrifying times. Pretty frickin' terrifying times. When your leader is like, well, the Battle of Britain is about to begin. Like, what? It's terrifying to think about.
What General Weygand has called the Battle of France is over. The Battle of Britain is about to begin.
Jeez.
The battle included one of the earliest uses of radar in combat. That's right, the RAF had a secret weapon in the form of radio direction finding, better known as radar.
This is what they were mentioning in the first video, where it looked like the British side of the conflict had this ability to locate the German airplanes in advance and take a lot of them out in a way that was like unprecedented. That defense, it's literally because another technological hallmark was being used for the first time: radar. Wow.
British built a ring of radar stations along the coastline, which soon became a crucial part of Britain's strategy. By pinging approaching Luftwaffe raiders, aka Nazi Germany's air force, with radio waves, the RAF could pin down the location and scramble fighters to intercept them, thereby robbing the enemy of the element of surprise.
Oh my god, this is amazing. That's one advantage to like the battle being fought on home soil. You know, it's horrible. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, something that in the United States we've really never experienced, like war waged on your home. It's horrible to even think about, and God forbid it ever happens. But one advantage is that, you know, very intelligently, the British, you guys set up these radar towers, which gave you a huge advantage that you took advantage of, for lack of a better word.
During one of the battle's most intense periods of fighting over London, RAF Sergeant Ray Holmes spotted a German bomber headed in the direction of Buckingham Palace. Despite having already used up all of his ammunition, he steered his Hawker Hurricane straight at the enemy aircraft and rammed it with his wing. The blow sent it plummeting into nearby Victoria Station. Rightly so, Holmes was hailed as a national hero for having saved the royal residence from potential disaster.
What? We got freaking war heroes. That's a true story? Did he survive? That is unbelievable. That's like something from a movie or something. He defending Buckingham Palace by ramming his own plane into another. And it worked. And did he survive? Like, that's literally the best outcome possible. You have to think when you're doing something like that, like, it crossed his mind that he wouldn't live. I don't know. It's not clear if he survived or not. I hope he did. But it's a heroic act nonetheless.
Did you know that the RAF had around 1,960 aircrafts at its disposal?
Wow.
This figure included around 900 fighter aircrafts, 560 bombers, and 500 coastal aeroplanes.
Wow.
Thanks to its sleek lines and blistering speed, the Supermarine Spitfire is thought to be the plane that saved England during the Battle of Britain.
So this is the plane. That's another thing I'm really understanding about this Battle of Britain, is that it was British, but also a lot of other countries, like allied countries, obviously. This RAF working together to defend England and whatnot. And it's amazing. Yeah, I just can't believe this. Obviously sounds like an extremely important historical event. And I keep saying this, like, I can't believe we weren't taught more about this.
Yet, Spitfires only actually made up a third of the British fighters during the campaign. The bulk of the RAF force consisted of the less glamorous Hawker Hurricane, which actually downed more enemy aircrafts during the fighting.
Oh, wow.
According to the
So, from what I'm gathering, this battle had thousands of airplanes fighting. Like, this is insane to think about.
The RAF, 2,937 pilots officially took part in the Battle of Britain, and
There you go. Just about 3,000 pilots? This is crazy.
of this number, 595 were from other countries, including Poland, New Zealand, Australia, Canada, Czechoslovakia, Belgium, France, the United States,
Hey!
and South Africa.
Oh my God, this is amazing. And I'm glad to hear that the United States had some small part of like 500 pilots from other countries. So if 500 were from other countries, was it the majority like British pilots, like defending obviously Britain and along with all these other countries? Amazing.
And of the top 10 RAF aces of the Battle of Britain, only 5 were British. That's right, the highest scoring foreign flyer was Sergeant Joseph František, a Czech who scored 17 victories while flying as a guest of the Polish 303 Squadron.
What are we talking about? Points or victories or scored the highest? What is, like, how many German planes you shot down or how many battles you won? I'm a little confused by this fun fact. Okay.
So there you are, my top 5 facts that you might not have known about the Battle of Britain.
Well, there are obviously like a lot of pilots that were really, really good and skilled. And some had like 16 victories or something. Okay.
If you're interested, don't forget.
Okay. So that's the end. Very good. This was like such a much needed, overdue history lesson that I would have loved to learn about like as a kid, and I think we should have here in the United States in history class. Certainly when we learn about World War II, obviously, its focuses like largely on the role that the United States had and sort of a general overview of it. But some of the details, like the Battle of Britain, completely get lost, which is a shame because this is such an important battle. It sounds like, in its own way, decided like the course of the entire war, which is pretty incredible to think about. So I really enjoyed this. Anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment with your thoughts on the Battle of Britain and any of this amazing history, and that'd be cool to hear about. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Britain and British culture and seeing British things I've never seen before, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching and see you next time.